seems like we had some technical difficulties, so I asked you to please stand by. I don't know what happened. I have amazing LAN. These things happen. And I'm on a Mac, which is phenomenal for internet. Right? I guess these things happen. Welcome back. We had some technical difficulties, so these things happen. I have no idea, Davina. But I can tell you, I tried to use a comma, and my whole machine melted. That's what happened, Davina. See what I get for trying to use a comma? Hello, Darren. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Gail. Hi, Chris. Welcome, everyone. See, I knew, and I tried to use that comma, and yeah. Hello, Susie. Glad you can get the Warriors of the Way at 99 cents. Always user error. Always. It's never the machine. It's always user error, Chris. So I don't know what I was talking about. I know I was talking about something. So welcome back, Carla. And someone had made mention. Oh, I probably could see it on the previous one. Hold on. Bum, 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 bum. My previous live video. Let's see. I can get the questions. Here we go. 90 comments. Yes, that would be my Valkyrie thing. She knows how long I stay up because she stays up almost as long, and she's 8. So yeah, which is okay when you're my age, not so okay when you're 8 years old. My computer knows when you're watching, Davina, and puts in the commas automatically. Oh, let's see. Welcome back, TJ, Rosalind, Sabrina, Audrey. Welcome back, guys. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot to give the feed coffee. That's what happens. So yeah, I want to try and pick up the theme and the thread from the last one. When I read your books now, I can imagine you writing them in ads. Yes, Patricia, thank you. It's awesome. Yeah. They are. It's interesting how Monty&Strong started as the trunk of the tree with all these branches, and now all the branches are kind of, as Chris says, we like to say everything is connected. Everything is connected. Yeah. Let's see, so I'm trying to pick up the thread from before we lost the feed. So I'm not just looking away from you guys. Yeah, okay, I think we're pretty much caught up. If you have any questions, just put them up there. Let's see, busted. Yeah, kids watch you. What time is it for me now? 11:30 Eastern. Yes. What time is it for you, Tamina? Are you 5 hours ahead? So is it like almost 6, 5? Hello, Barbs. Welcome. I'm trying to just read the other feed, guys. So not ignoring you. Don't want to miss. I'm trying not to miss anyone commenting. So yeah, because the feed can go by pretty fast. Heard there's a certain noble lawyer who hated punctuation also. Maybe in one book I'm just gonna create the Monty&Strong comma book, and it's gonna be a book of just commas, Susie. Yeah, I won't get. All the kids are home from school now, Davina. So yeah, I don't get in trouble. You see, are your characters live to you and like other artists? So what I do, TJ, when I write other stories that are not Monty&Strong, it's a little harder. I won't say much harder, but it's a little. I kind of have to get their voices, especially Gray. When I write Monty&Strong, it really flows to the point where I had trouble writing a 10,000 word short story. I think it overflowed to 12,000. And that's just from the dialogue. When I write the dialogue for Monty&Strong, they don't shut up. It's like it's back and forth, and the world could be ending around them, and they'll have something to say that has nothing to do with the fact that there's something trying to destroy them in the moment. Monty&Strong is by far the easiest for me because it's the one that's closest to my voice. Everything else kind of takes a little more work, but Monty&Strong is seamless, which is why I always write a Monty&Strong and something else. Monty&Strong and something else. Like someone had made mention that because I'm writing another story, that the Monty&Strong schedule was going to suffer. Monty&Strong schedule never suffers because Monty&Strong is the stories that holds everything together. If I don't write Monty&Strong, I have a problem. So I have to write Monty&Strong, and then that schedule is solid. I always write Monty&Strong and then something else. So you always see stories interspersed between the Monty&Strong ones. How do I make my character? Hello, Dan, Mr. Awesome. John Wick 4 next year. How do you make your characters so relatable even though they're magical? Because they're flawed. So Simon has authority issues. Monty has Simon issues. And he also has something to do with his being English, the way he was raised. Because he's a mage, he's a little bit sheltered from the way the world really works, and yet at the same time, he's been exposed to parts of the world that Simon has never seen. So it's a really interesting complexity there. And Peaches, of course, meat is life. So Peaches is basically operates on I'm hungry, and where's the next sausage? Let's see. Do your children, Audrey asks, do my children write or are they interested in writing? I have a few authors in the making. I'm trying not to like say, okay, you need to write, because I want them to express their own creativity. But every time one of them like writes a paragraph or a story, the writer in me, the author in me goes like, yes, keep going. But I always encourage them to pursue whatever creative expression they want to have, whether it's writing or dancing or painting, you know, and they all do karate. So that's not optional, especially for the girls. 1633 here. Is that the time? That'd be 4:33 in non-military time. But Davina, I'm gonna create the book called Kam-Ma, and that's actually I'm gonna create a character called Kam-Ma and speaks like William Shatner, who will always speak this way. Yes, Chris, Monty&Strong are the core. Everything kind of comes out from Monty&Strong. Even the books that were prior to Monty&Strong were kind of a lead up to Monty&Strong. I think the closest was Chronicles of the Modern Mystics. If you read that book, you'll see how close to the birth of Monty&Strong it was. Even though I wrote Monty&Strong in the middle of Sepia Blue, Chronicles of the Modern Mystics was kind of the step right before Monty&Strong. You'll see it. Monty&Strong needs a theme song. I have a fantastic musician working on that, Audrey. Hello, Adam. Welcome. Yes, Rosalind. Well, that's Simon. Simon has no respect for any kind of authority, so he's that way. Gets him in trouble. Yes, my characters are human, like us, yeah. And that's, if you read Simon, you'll see Simon, the interaction between Simon and Monty and Roxanne, and even Simon and Chi, although I know Davina doesn't like Chi. It's not, we won't mention Chi too much. It's there. You can see the human interaction, the tension. Oh, and what they do with Ramirez. Oh, I have a leaf blower outside, so if you hear like impending doom behind me, it's the leaf blower going on. Let's see. Hello, Bernice. Well, yeah, except for not being human like Peaches, or even Peaches. I know a few people who are like Peaches who only think about food. So, yeah. Welcome, Mark. Yes, my daughter Zoya has her own laptop. This is one of our older laptops, so it's not internet connected. And she writes her own stories. So there you go. See? It's starting already. You need to, Davina, you need to speak to John. He's because everybody else was able to get on with no problem. Maybe there was some setting that you changed, because Most of you that are on the art or in the art are pre-approved, which was another great feature that John logs and added to reader links. That you can pre-approve the people who are participating. So really, I would reach out to John and see why you weren't able to get on this time. It could be the commas there's a revolution of commas. Hello, Sue, welcome. I'm not gonna get you started on chi. This whole book deals with chi, so I'll make sure you get it on shred because yeah. Hello, RL, congratulations on your latest book. I think, what book is that, RL? Like book number 18,000? I just keep seeing your series grow and grow. Congratulations. Chi is short for Michigo, Susie, which is Simon's, I don't want to even say love interest because it's not really love interest, but it's the woman slash vampire he's involved with. I think it was a glitch. Yeah, like Chris says, I think it was a glitch in your end, Davina, because everyone got on. Everyone who wanted to participate got on. So you may have to check your settings. And I think, John or Chris could help you with that because Chris is really tech savvy when it comes to that stuff. Let's see if I have anything else on the side. I like what Noah said. Yes, when my chat ended, Noah says, my chat ended. Am I talking to myself? I said, which is not really a problem. I can kind of do that too. Yeah, I think, no, I'd always, so let me just say, right off the bat, I appreciate all of you who work on the art. And I've had, on some of the Monty&Strong books, over 2,000 notes that I have had to go through. I don't mind that at all if it means making the book better. So please don't refrain from adding your notes. And I know some of you, I love it when you say, I respectfully disagree. That's fine. You're not supposed to all agree. That's what makes the book interesting. So please don't refrain from add your notes. Don't hold yourself back from adding notes. It's never an issue when I see like a ton of notes, because for me that means we're polishing the book and we're making it better. And so yes, please don't feel bad if you have to you're adding. And with me, I know Davina, with me it's going to be comma central. So again, a lot of them are going to be commas. So but make sure you add your notes, please. I know a lot of you have said, I feel bad adding so many notes. No, just please do. Hello, Lena. Welcome back, Rebecca. That's fantastic, Davina. Please keep encouraging that, because that's kind of like how Frank Miller started. He became very famous from writing and illustrating his own work. Daniel, the next, welcome, Daniel. I didn't think I saw you when you came in, so hello. The next Assassin's Apprentice book will probably be in between Reaping Wind and Dragon's Impasse, or shortly after Dragon's Impasse, because then in September I'm traveling all over the place. I have to go to the Austin Summit and FenCon, possibly NINC. So I'm going to be all over the place. So I want to get that next Assassin's Apprentice out because that is a lot of fun, especially with the Spanish, the Latin cultural influences of the Assassin's Apprentice books with Santa Muerte. Background, yeah. Well, in New York, it's not background noise, Chris. It's like normal noise. But for some people, it's noise. Yeah. Look, yeah, me too, Rosen. I really enjoy being here with all of you. I think it's great. And like I was saying earlier, I wish I had this kind of access to some of the authors I loved growing up. I would have loved to be able to sit down with Heinlein or Asimov or even King, who's still around, but he was, he doesn't do this, because I think the authors from that generation, actually my generation, learned that you don't really speak to your readers. You just write your books, get them out, they have agents, and they put the books out. Now authors, especially indie authors, make it a point to connect with their readers. And I always say our mob is like a family. So this is awesome that we can just get together, sit down, have our coffee or tea, and just have a conversation. I think it's fantastic. Let's see. Davina, she doesn't deserve one on the Yes, Davina. She gets a book of her own later on, and I think you'll understand a little bit more of her motivation then. But that book is going to be interesting because it's a book in 3 parts, and it's when I'm going to release it. I'm going to write the entire book and then release it what they call rapid release, but that's not until much later in the year. So yeah, I do consider other. I think the notes are really important because it helps the readers, you guys, be part of the process, because I never had that when I started reading when I was younger. I never knew how books were written. I certainly didn't have input in how the books are written. And I think it's awesome that if you see a note, if you see when you read the book and you see that it's changed to something that you suggested, that you had a part in writing that, which is awesome. Yeah, she's one of my favorites. She's one of my favorite in the series, but she's not everyone's favorite. Like Davina, for example. Hello, Helen. Hello, Lily. Yeah. It will be Rosalind, because that story is how she became the leader of the Dark Council. So it's kind of a tangent to the usual Monty&Strong. And if you've been following, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but she's currently not the leader of the Dark Council right now. And so it'll tie into what's been happening with her. Yeah. Ken is fantastic. Ken is a really great character. I like Ken a lot. Cheese Story is really interesting. Karma. Yeah, that's going to be later on, Karma. It starts leading up into Karma getting involved. Let's see. We'd love to see the man. Yeah. John cracks me up. And when John and I get together to do a video like this, it's like we can barely get through the whole thing without dying of laughter. Hello, Lily. I thank you for really reading the series. Let's see. Yes. No, I actually Noah. They're important, but you guys know me. I always tell you guys to read different authors. If I think the author's good, because I'm a reader first, I make sure you guys hear about them. That's why we have the L3. Besides the fact that we're trying to implode Larry's Kindle, which he's on the cloud, so it's gonna be really hard now. But just trying. If I could spend time, bye TJ, have a great day. If I could spend time with anyone living and dead, who would it be? Terry Pratchett for sure. Neil Gaiman is a close second. Isaac Asimov, Heinlein, Frank Herbert, Tolkien, C.S. Lewis. It's a long list, Davina. But yeah, any of those. Definitely Jim Butcher would be fantastic. I'd love to spend some time with him, even though he's getting a lot of heat now because his last book is taking so long. If I consider it a series of what if MS Shorts using movie favorite line, time has that reminds me of the old comics. I don't know if you remember them, Dan. I think they were called What Ifs. They might have been called What Ifs. That where it was like alternate realities or things that would happen with the characters, like kind of like what you just suggested. I don't know. I have enough to write as it is, and then writing what if versions. Maybe, if I did something like what John and I do with the Spam, McAllister, and Pistol Zerlock, if they were really short, like paragraphs, like little super tiny vignettes, maybe. But actual stories, short stories, I don't know where I'd find the time to do it, really. Yes, L3 for the win, Chris. Hello, Timothy. Welcome back again. Noah, are you hitting the revolving door, Noah? Is that what's happening? Hold on. All right. Yes, I'm just checking some stuff on the other feed. So I have a few computers open at the moment. Yeah. Like a Scooby-Doo short. Yeah, something like that. No, the next thing I'm going to do is start studying how to write screenplays so I can approach Netflix and then just give them a show. Welcome back. Yeah, and just give them a show and just say, hey, do a Monty&Strong series. Like the Umbrella Academy. If they could do the Umbrella Academy, they can definitely do Monty&Strong. For sure. No kidding, Davina. I didn't know that. I don't read George R. R. Martin. I don't read him, but Jim wasn't taking that long. I think he's had a whole lot of life situations. I think he got divorced. I think he moved, uh, got a house, had to move into the house. He was engaged. He got divorced, got engaged, got married. There's like a lot of stuff going on that is not conducive to writing. Welcome, Howard. And yeah, I mean, to write, you gotta have to have some stability in your life, and he didn't have much. And Jim is a really nice guy. The few times that I've spoken to him, very nice, very generous. I mean, this is a guy who's really well known. So, um, you need to wait for the anthology. I don't think that so that's just my thing on Jim, basically. I think he's a great guy, and we kind of have to be patient with the fact that he's taking so long to write the last book, because life happens. Like I always say, life happens. Do we need to review the short, Chris asked, or wait for the anthology? I'd wait for the anthology, because the short won't be out independently of the anthology until I get it back from the anthology. So the anthology will run for a few months, maybe like 6 months, and then all the authors get their stories back. So, but the anthology is, like I said, is to help the library defense fund. So I'll wait till the anthology comes out. I know there's going to be a few awesome authors. Noah's in there, Rami's in there, Rami Vance. I don't know all the authors. I'm guessing Martha will probably be one of them. If she's not, she's organizing it, but I don't know if she'll be in it. Maybe Michael Andley will be in it. I have no idea who else the other authors are. So yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. So, and you know what, Davina, we've become very, I want to say kind of spoiled, but it's not spoiled because it's the new normal. Everything is binge now. Like, if you go on Netflix, you get a whole season all at once. Back in my day, yes, and I know I'm dating myself, you had to wait for each episode. You had to wait a week for each episode. And now on Netflix, as soon as one is done, you get the next one, and then you get the next one, and then you get the next one. And, people want to be that way when people write books. Some authors can do it, some authors can't. Some authors can do 1 book a year. Some authors can do 3 books a year. Some authors can do a book a month. It all depends on the author and the story. So you kind of have to let the author have that space to do that. But yeah, I definitely will, Chris. Hello, Carolyn. Welcome back, Benna. We still have to mangle your name. I keep apologizing I'm not mangling your name. Maybe in this book. Yeah, I've seen a few series, Davina, where that happens, and it also happens with a lot of authors too. When you rush it, I don't say the speed affects the quality of the book, because I know authors who can write really fast and they put out great books, but some authors need to let the ideas simmer a bit, and if you rush it, you don't get the same kind of book. And the same thing happens with certain series. Yeah, again, Doctor Who's been around most, if not all, of my life, and so it hasn't really changed. Characters have changed, but the story and the premise of the character is pretty much evergreen, and so that part is fantastic. I'm surprised. Do we know if they've ever made a Doctor Who movie? Because that would be awesome, like a feature-length film with Doctor Who. The question is, who would they use for the Doctor Who character? Bye, Audrey. Have a great day. Thank you for the questions. A Doctor Who movie would be awesome. We should speak to the BBC. Yes, I actually grew up reading Tom Clancy. It's fantastic. Red October was my first Tom Clancy book. And I went on to read almost all his books and even play some of the video games, like the Rainbow Six games that he inspired. For sure, Tom Clancy was because he passed away. He was a master of that thriller, of that military thriller. Yes, the current Doctor Who's a female, which is way overdue, in my opinion. They did. Okay, Chris, send me the names. I check it out, because it's probably old at this point. But yeah, Peter Cushing, really, Peter Cushing is a fantastic actor. The Monty&Strong TV series is happening. I'm gonna write a screenplay at some point and pitch it to Netflix and Amazon original and see what happens. Welcome, Mary. Oh, see, I didn't know all these Doctor Who's have movies. Look at that. Also, these are way before. I think I started with Tom Baker, and we're talking quite a few years ago. So yeah. Yeah, I see. Darren, I try to be authentic with the military hardware. It's tough because like I just had the discussion with a few of the mob where Simon's gun is a 1911, and even though, you know, I try to give enough leeway because it's the Grim Whisper is a modified gun. You know, there are always purists who say that's not really that kind of gun, or he's holding it the wrong way. And I'm like, I get it. And the people who design the covers aren't gun enthusiasts. And as much as I try to tell them, listen, have a different kind of grip, you know, not so much the teacup grip, but really, you know, you can't, it depends. So, yeah, I try to be as authentic as I can. With the non-magical thriller, I'll be even more authentic because that won't require so much hand wavy. Hello, Liz. Welcome. Awesome, Noah. Thank you. Rift Tracks did it. Is that an actual movie? Yes, you are dating yourself, Chris. It's called being ancient. Okay, I'll look it up for sure. Doctor Who and the Daleks. That makes a lot of sense. That's pretty awesome. Definitely check that out. Yeah, Darren. So I'm going to have a conversation with a few authors. I'm going to reach out to a few authors who write straight thrillers as to how they handle the authenticity of the books. I know a lot of them have military advisors or LEOs who advise them on that the authenticity of the weaponry used. So I'll try to do that. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, Davina, but you'd be surprised how many people are not when it comes to weapons. Like they're like, no, you can't hold it that way. No, you can only have. Don't call it a clip. It's a magazine. You know, it's like they're very specific about it. So, yeah, wise is earned over time, but it doesn't come with the time, Chris. Unfortunately, it's not part of the package all the time. Yeah. So I'll reach out. I have a few people who I know who are police officers and a few people who are military, like active military, and like I'll ask them some questions about that and see if they could kind of act as my advisor so I can have some authenticity in the book. James is an excellent guide. Yeah, that was going to be one of my references too. So I'll use James because it's good for everything in terms of things like that. Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, well, the Grim Whisper looks like a gun, but it fires negation rounds, which is fiction, or persuaders, which is fiction. But the fact that it looks like a gun has to mean it looks like a certain type of gun. And the people at Deranged took liberties with that in terms of we're going to make it look like this. And I said, fine, that's great. It's a good idea. And we ran with that. So every time you see one of those covers, it's the same weapon. But, you know, you got to kind of have to give everyone leeway. What happens with stories is that people take ownership of them and then they want it to be a certain way, which as an author you have to understand. And that's fine. So, hello, Rhiannon. Welcome. Yes, and this is why, Rebecca, the book is always better than the movie. Welcome, V. For sure. I agree, Rebecca. So, and that's why in terms of description, I try not to get overly specific because I've had people say Simon looks this way, Simon looks that way, or, you know, Monty, I see Monty looking this way or that way. And even down to the voice. Like, no, I hear Simon a certain way, or I hear Simon this way. And everyone has their own way of interacting with the characters in their heads. But, you know, Chris, that one came as a quick inspiration, like you know, because they're in that situation, and it's such a Monty thing to say. Shoot it harder, you know. It's like, get it done, you know. So, yeah, right, Davina. I try not to get overly descriptive with certain things. Also, the pace of my books has a tendency to be fast. So if I take too long to describe certain things, descriptions really slow down the story. You know, so it's like if I'm going to spend that much time describing, everything else that I want to happen now has to wait. And that big pause, I usually don't do that. My books usually move at have a certain rhythm. So yeah. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Susie. Yeah, I thought it was a great name. I try not to give them too many names, guns. I got that complaint too. Everybody's weapon has a name. It's one of my ways of being. I'm sorry. Yeah, then it's the greatest meal. Exactly, brains. What dragged you into the M&S world, Cynthia? I'd like to know. Carolyn, take care. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, Carolyn. Yeah, I read once, Chris, that Stephen King doesn't do descriptions, and I said that can't be true. And the reason he says is because he doesn't want to determine what a reader makes the character in terms of how they look. And I went back and read some King, and it's true. His descriptions are like really, really skeletons. He doesn't really say much. And some characters he doesn't describe at all. And he just lets the reader fill that in, which is, I mean, it's Stephen King, so you got to have a level of skill, obviously. But I think that's a great idea to do that. You know. Hello, Leslie. Welcome. Yes, Cynthia, shoot it harder. Yeah. I think that was yeah, that's what they call an inspired line. That's right up there with Death Aim, which is Tammy's fantastic addition, in addition to many. Yeah, American Gods is I like that story. But you got to be patient because if first of all, it's a big book, and I mean it's not The Stand, which was 1,000 pages. It's a big book, but it's really in depth. American Gods, which is why they can make a series out of it, like a television series, and it's really well done. But it does feel like it drags because it goes in depth into many things. But I thought it was a great idea with the bringing all the gods together and having new gods kind of take over. That was very well done. Yeah. Yeah, I try not to do that, Davina. And yeah, Monty's very casual for a mage, but he does dress formal. Simon's very formal. He doesn't really he doesn't, he likes very kind of laid back kind of guy. Everybody knows what Peaches looks like, and the only time I describe Peaches is when he goes XL, and then I might get into a little bit of that description too. Yeah. But I try not to get too heavy into description because I feel, for me personally, I feel it slows down the story, and so I'd rather let the reader bring in the description and then move from there, or I give a framework and then move from there. Yes, Norse mythology is fantastic. I like Norse mythology because the pantheon is so interesting, and so you'll see a lot of Norse in the writing. In fact, I'm jumping into some Finnish mythology. Oh, Jim, I thought you were here all along. Must have been yesterday when we started tomorrow. Welcome, Jim. In Aftermath, which is one of the stories of Damned, which is the Decons and Magical Nulls Elite Division, Finnish mythology comes in with her weapon. You'll see some of it in Monty&Strong 9. Yeah, for sure. So we had a minor technical interruption. So we're at about an hour, 30 minutes, 34 minutes of this one, and we're at 20 minutes of the other one. So I'll probably stay on for another 15, 20 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys too long. It's the middle of the day for a lot of you, and it's late at night for a lot of you too. So I don't want to tax too much of your time. It's needed, yeah. And also, what happens with with Monty's clothes, if you ever look at a Zegna suit, they're expensive. And so Monty goes through clothes all the time, which is why it's a constant source of frustration for Monty, because the clothes are expensive and he's very meticulous about the way he looks. And then Peaches gets to slobber on him or bite his stuff and destroy his shoes. And if you've ever had a dog destroy your shoes, you'll know what I mean about, are you kidding me right now? This is not a chew toy. What's wrong with you? Because dogs don't care about price. And Peaches certainly doesn't. Welcome, Jim. This is one of those never-ending cups. Chris, I'm still drinking and I still have so much in here. So enjoy, Rosalind. I hear the series is good. I've never read it. I know that's an offshoot from the Temple series, but have fun. I think it's already out, so you should definitely pick it up. Yeah, this is like my flask, like Simon's flask. His little flask that he carries, it doesn't end. So sorry, Chris. If we stay until this ends, we'll be here all day. Let's see. Hello, Julie. Welcome. Oh, Rosalind. No, but you know, Monty deals with Simon's love of coffee, so it's not that bad. You've got your dog well trained. That's all I can say, Davina. Yeah, see, that's another thing, the relocating of shoes and stuff like that. They may not chew them, but they may take them and relocate them, put them somewhere else. And then, you know, it's a problem, especially when you need two of the same shoes. Monty's clothing, first of all, it's too expensive to get tactical lining, but it is ruined, and so it protects him against magical attacks, but maybe not conventional attacks. If you take it one book at a time, Darren, it won't be too bad. You start with Obsidian Sun and move from there. Yeah, these screens are great because behind there are all the bodies that I've buried. No, I'm kidding. Behind there's other stuff, but I like the screens. The screens over here are permanent, and the screens over here are temporary. These move, and so but it gives a nice feel to this whole. I used to have like a if you see some of the videos I've done with John, it used to be like just a blanket back there to cover all the background stuff. Yeah. Dragon scale. Yes, but it's ruined dragon scale. Hello, Leslie. Welcome. Yeah, the dragon scale works, but it's slowly changing to just ruined Zegna. And so that's more, if you look at the dragon scale, that's more in the other stories, like Division 13 uses dragon scale. I'm not sure if Night Warden uses dragon scale because Grace is crazy. You might not want to use dragon scale. Plus, you know, Gray's not scared of dying. I don't think it would count as a magical attack, Davina, a Hellhound bite. No. So, but yes, they are magical, and Peach's saliva does heal. So yes, for sure. You're very welcome, Carla. Have a great dinner. Enjoy, and speak to you soon. Agreed, Chris. The environment is key. Yeah. Yeah, Darren, it's probably from Division 13. He makes a lot of emphasis on Dragon Scale, and I think, who else does that besides Ronan? I think it's mostly Ronan, but it might be in some of the other stories, for sure. But Ronan for sure, because he doesn't have that many magical abilities, which is why he gets trounced all the time. Yeah, I would think it would do both, Sabrina, but Peaches would never bite Monty. Hello, Melody, welcome. He would slobber over Monty, but he wouldn't bite him. Because Monty makes sausages, makes meat for Peaches, and so he wouldn't. Noah, have a great night. Good night. I know it's really late where you are, so put the little one down to sleep. Fantastic. Yeah, I think we're gonna stay for about 10 more minutes and then head out, guys. So yeah. If you have any questions, this is the time to put them up, guys. Do I maintain a world guide? Oh, not really. I mean, I have kind of like what happens in all the stories, but not a world guide. No. Plus, the worlds are so. I'd need Jim for that because everything is so convoluted at this point. Yeah, I would think aggravated damage because werewolf bites carry some kind of toxin, maybe. I don't know if a hellhound bite would be the same. Maybe that's interesting. I'll have to explore that. Like have because Peaches does bite people, but I don't think he actively tries to attack in that way. So it'd be interesting, yeah. Because I could see werewolf bites. I think werewolf bites are one of the ways that they can spread the werewolf way of being. So yeah, maybe because they're partly human. Yes, my head does maintain it all. That's for sure. And yes, Karen, that's all Peaches cares about. Not really, not even the price. He doesn't care about the price. He cares about the accessibility of it. It's like, can I have some now? Now? How about now? So yeah, yeah. It's like what I said about the Mind Mansion is really true. So when I start writing a story, I have to go. It's really interesting. So if my brain were a mansion, the center courtyard is all Monty&Strong. It's always accessible. All the other stories are in rooms, but Monty&Strong is always present in the center. So you always have to go through Monty&Strong to get to any of the other stories. That would be the best description I think of how the stories are arranged in my head. Well, yeah, maybe you should just call her a hellhound and she'll be set. Not in worth. Oh, well, oh, they're born, not made. That's interesting. Hello, Amanda. Welcome. I'm glad you love them. I didn't know that, Davina, but that's interesting. They're born. Okay. Yeah, because there's so many variations on that. I guess I want to call it mythos, how werewolves are made. So I guess in this one they're born and it's not a disease that's contracted. So it's not like a lupine disease. Hello, Mike. Welcome. I guess this is why I stay on as long as I do because not everyone gets on at the start time, and not everyone is in the same time zone. So I apologize. If you have to go, please feel free to go. It's Friday. We're hanging out. It's summer. Do what you got to do. You too, Susie. Enjoy the weekend. Yeah, the Memory Palace for me came across first with Sherlock Holmes, which is why he has such an amazing recollection. That's the first time I heard of it, but I know it was in Hannibal Lecter too. I forgot the author's name, Thomas something. Hannibal Lecter. And I find who wrote Hannibal Lecter stories, because that's a fantastic character. Thomas Harris, awesome, yeah. Let's see. Call her Spot. There you go. Exactly. Yeah, Cerberus is Spot. So there you go. Do I study lore? Yes, Karen, I do. Tons and tons of study. Just to get things right, like everything regarding the Morrigan or all the other names that she has, I had to study that. All the other mythology, I have to study that. I can't. There's no way I would know that just off the top of my head. A lot of studying. So, yeah. Thank you, Davina. Yes, Thomas Harris. So I have to study the lore, and every time, like now, for the Japanese kami, which are spirits, and a lot of the culture, even though I'm very exposed to that because of the martial arts that I study, there's still a lot of study I have to do. Like right now, I'm reading up on Osaka and Hokkaido, which are the places where the story will be taking place. But there's shrines in between where there'll be things happening that I have to study. So yes, there's a lot of study going on in the background. which probably never makes it into the book directly, but it does make it into the book indirectly. Yeah, Thomas Harris books are scary. I agree, for sure. Rebecca, yeah. Will the Morgan reappear? Of course. If Dex is around, the Morgan is never far away. She's a goddess, so she's busy. She's doing her own thing, but she's involved with Dex, and yes, she will reappear. The Morgan is a character that's best used in very small doses. Although she was great in Silver Cloud, Starry Skies, I wouldn't do too much with her because she's so powerful. But there's a behind the scenes I don't know if I should say. Okay, yeah. Dex is going to be running a school at some point in the future, and the Morgan will be one of the instructors. So, kind of like a magical academy that Dex would be the headmaster of. So Nana will be one of the deans, I think, and I think the Morgan will be either one of the deans or one of the instructors. I think it'd be great to have her as an instructor. It's been a blast, Chris. Yeah. Let's see. Moonwalking with ice in the art. Wow. See, there you go. Thank you, Jim. I'll have to look that up now. The art and science of remembering. I don't know if I want to remember everything though, but it sounds good. I really enjoy the Dex character too. He adheres to no conventions, Rosalind. So he's that uncle you have that's crazy. That's Monty's crazy uncle. The Morgan. That goes without saying because she's a goddess. Hello, Amanda. Even though TK is scary awesome, it's really a different level of power. Like it's like comparing Monty and Hades. There's no comparison. Hades is on a whole different level. Wow, Douglas. Let's see. Putting them all in one collection set. Do you know how many books that would be and how many books are coming? I'd have to really consider how I would even do that. It's just so many books. But it's a great idea. I think, yeah. And I'm working on having a hardcover, a hardback done, which is a collector's edition of Two Mirrors and Butterflies. But it's a big one. Like, yeah. I'll keep you guys posted. Have her as a substitute teacher. Yeah, I think that'd be great. That she'd be a fantastic substitute. Yeah. What about Simon's Family? I cannot tell you about Simon's Family right now, Rebecca. I'm sorry. But they will come up. For sure. I promise. Yeah, see? That's my problem too, Chris. I think TK could take on a god. I think she's strong enough to. And if you read it to what's alluded in, I think it's Homecoming. I want to say Homecoming, where there's the reckoning between Monty and TK, where she completely trounces him. She used to work for one of the personas of the Morgan. And in order to do that, you have to be really, really powerful. So TK could probably hold her own against a god. Put it this way, I don't think any guy would want to mess with TK. So yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, Darren, once I get them done, because it's a process. I have to go through Ingram Spark, and then I have to go through another person who really does fantastic work. Then I'll start, I'll get a few made and I'll put them out there. Rehan is another one of my tribe. Let's see, in what book are Dex and the Morgan going to be in? They're going to be in a book that's not written yet, young man, which is a book where Dex is running a school. So once that happens, Ray, by the way, has read all my books. He's one of the fans, readers, who's like, when's the next book coming out? I just wrote this one. Yeah, but I'm almost done. So when is the next one coming out? Like, when I write it, it'll be out. So, welcome, Mark. How are you? You never got an alert. I don't know. Maybe because we had technical difficulties the first time, and the second time we came back on, it kind of just came back on. So it's possible. But welcome in any case. Mark is writing London's Heartbeat or London Heartbeat. So pick that up when it gets ready. Let's see. Mike, take care. Always glad to have you visit and pop in. Working in a sweatbox. Ugh, that doesn't sound fun at all. Doesn't sound fun at all. Yeah, I'm going to stay for about 10 more minutes and then head out, guys, because, yeah, the London Heartbeat. Make sure you get that book when it comes out, please. Don't worry, we'll have another one. We'll have another one of these, and hopefully closer to the release, and get your book out there to readers. Yeah, I don't know if we could do that. A countdown clock would be great. Figure like an hour. I tried to do it for an hour. We had the technical hiccup, which is on their end, I think, although we always say user error. So it's been an hour. It's going to be an hour and a half in about 10 minutes. So I figure it's a good amount of time. Yeah. AC is a strange journey. What is AC besides air conditioning? Oh yeah, I realized that when I went to visit when I was in London, there wasn't much air conditioning, and I went in the summer, and that was bad. Offhanded hints at strong side. Nope, can't reveal that at all because any hints I'd give would spoil it, so I can't. So, but they'll start getting revealed later on. Yeah, I don't know how to write one of those, Chris, a JavaScript clock, but I can certainly look into it. I wonder if JL could do one of those. That'd be interesting. I agree, Chris. The London Heartbeat is going to be awesome, so you guys are going to love it. I haven't been reading it, but the little pieces that I've been able to see and read, you guys are going to enjoy it a lot. Does he have siblings? Can I tell you that? Nope, not telling you. I'm not revealing anything about Simon right now, because when I do, it'll be really in depth, and you get to see why Simon is the way he is. Especially around family. So yeah. Is that what it is, Rosalind, that you don't have many days of heat? Well, when I was visiting, I was there for 2 weeks. I think I had like maybe 3 days of sun, and that was considered fortunate. So yeah, I believe it. Yeah, that's never gonna happen, Mark. Never. Simon will never develop a taste for tea, ever. So Douglas, from my understanding, aside from the fact that I put up notices all week, when one of these live events happens, you're supposed to get an alert, but I don't know how long it lasts. I think it's like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So, yeah. So, we'll see. No, Davina, not happening. But trust me, it's worth the wait. It will be. Was Simon part of Division 13? No, Simon, if you remember what Ramirez discovered, was part of a Black Ops group. And something happened with that group within the New York Task Force. So Ramirez discovered a bit of that, Darren. But there's a lot more history there that will get uncovered later on. There's a lot that has to happen with Simon. Even though he's been thrust into this world of magic, there's a lot of baggage that he brings that hasn't been really touched upon yet. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe what I could do, Chris, is right before I start the live event, is put a post up in the mob, and let just everyone know I'm about to start in 5 minutes or something like that. Maybe that'll help people get, because I just started, but I thought everyone had it. Yeah, Darren, no, it was the NYTF. It's an NYTF group that Simon was part of, and not part of Division 13. Division 13 is an entirely different group. No, Simon and Tristan are not related in any way whatsoever, shape, or form. They're not related at all. Except that they're like brothers now because they've been through so much together. And Simon does consider Tristan family, and vice versa, which is why they risk their lives for each other. All right, guys, 5 more minutes. So if you have questions, I'm about to sign off in 5 minutes. And the coffee's almost done. Awesome. Hello, Darren. I don't know if it's finished yet, Rebecca, but once it is, I'm sure Mark will put it out. Yes, Chris. Well, they're supposed to. I mean, Simon will get on anyone's nerves. And Monty isn't exactly the easiest person to get along with, Mark. Mark, are you going to do a pre-order for the London Heartbeat? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people who are interested in that. So you may want to let your group know, too. That's a great origin, Davina. Where is Darf, Darren? Or is that a typo? Wow, Douglas. Yeah, I'll send you the link, but there is an order. You start with No God is Safe as a short, and then you jump into Tomb Yards and Butterflies, and then you're off to the races from there. I would definitely L3 it, Rebecca. Once Mark releases the pre-order, I'll make sure to put it out in the mob. That you'll know for sure. We'll get his book to #1. Oh, okay, typo, because I didn't know where Darth was. I thought that was some strange place that Jim inhabited. Yeah, Douglas, there's a great little site called, I don't know what it's called off the top of my head, Fan Fiction, something like that, or Fantasy Authors. But they have all the books in order. So I'll send that link over to you, Douglas. But at this point, it's a lot of books. Well, yeah, but Orlando is an Italian name. It's the Italian version of Roland. So maybe we are Italian. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? A writing skills podcast. Darren, I don't even think I'm that qualified to start a writing skills podcast. Yeah, Davina, I think that's a fantastic origin, and I may even use it. And if I do, that you will get a shout out. He may not have been born a mage, but maybe he'll been born into a mage or a magically enhanced family, and that's why. Darren, that's about. I read it about 6 times, and each time I read my own work, which is really strange, I get so caught up in it. I think I've said this to the art too. As I'm reading the story, I'll have to go back because instead of doing the edits like I'm supposed to, I get into the story, and then I just get lost in the story. And I'm like, oh no, I'm supposed to be correcting stuff, and then I have to go back because I just get caught up in the story. Bye, Rebecca. Enjoy the lake. Oh, really? The lake? Have a great day. Enjoy the lake. Yeah, I could do it from the gym. In the gym, I'm focused on moving weight. I don't think I could do writing podcasts in the gym. But I could do motivational ones, sure. Write faster, write more, or else. Oh yeah, that's definitely an idea, Davina. That it was if she was negated during his pregnancy, he might still have his mage propensity, like, you know, the potential, but the powers are not there. It's interesting. I like that idea. It would explain a lot. But you know, it's already, the precedent's already set with the EMTE, how some people are magically sensitive, and that's why they become part of the EMTE, because they're magically sensitive. So that precedent, that ability is set in the world. So it's not that hard, not that much of a stretch to make Simon magically sensitive. I drive to the gym. All right, so here's the deal with the gym, Chris. The gym for me is only about 10 blocks away, and for the first 2 years I used to walk it, no matter what time of the year it was. So, you know, through the winter I put on my really heavy bag and I would walk to the gym. Once the weights got really heavy, I started driving to the gym because I wasn't going to work out before the workout. So, but it's not far. I could walk it in the summer. I can walk it. The problem is that I walk it, when I train at 3 in the morning, when I walk, if I walk down one of these streets, which it's really dicey, I got to go through these crazy areas, and there's a lot of situations that I'd rather avoid. So I'll just drive it, and it's right there. I type everything. I used to do longhand, and now I just type everything. I like the EMT too, Davina, and I like how they use Simon as part of the rookie hazing, which is fantastic. I like how the veterans already know that Simon's going to heal, and they let the rookies try to treat Simon, and as he heals right in front of their eyes, they haze him. They haze the rookie. So it's awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to start wrapping it up because we're over an hour and a half at this point. Well, an hour on this one, and we're at 20-something minutes in the previous one. So I'm going to call it a day. So our next event will probably be the 19th of July, because I'm going to be gone from the 3rd to the 12th, and then I'll come back and then be deep into Monty&Strong 9, which I have to do some writing about in Virginia, which will be fun. And then the 19th of July, which is a Friday, we'll have our next mob event. Yes, Davina, I like that idea. Darren. There was a character like that in The Words of the Way, and I like Kali and Penkat Silat, both very great arts. So maybe later on, yeah, I won't say no, because Filipino stick fighting is amazing, and if you've ever been at the end of it, it hurts. No, thank you, Cynthia. You don't have, just being here is fun. The reason I do this is just so we can kind of hang out together, because it doesn't happen. I know we do it a lot in the mob, but this is a different way of interacting. So don't feel like you have to talk. Just think of it as we're just all hanging out in a big house, and not everyone has to talk. We come in, we hang out, we drink coffee, some come in, some leave. We're just hanging out together. It's awesome. And that's basically what this is for, just to spend some time together. I'll drink my coffee, we'll talk about the books and other things in life, and just enjoy each other's company, for sure. And Chris, yes, the coffee's done. So good timing. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. Don't forget, meat is life, as Peaches would say. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll keep talking, because I'm online. I'm around. I'm going to be jumping into Monty&Strong 9 and the notes for the perfect cup. But as I always say, you can find me, and if you can't find me, you holler at the pack. The pack is always around. And shout out to the pack, because you guys are amazing. You make the room amazing. And I couldn't do this without you guys. So, yeah, mages don't use wands. Remember, wizards do. Darren. So, it's nice to see me. You see me live every single day, whichever one of my tribe you are. You see me live every day. So, you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to be traveling the 3rd, but I'll talk to you guys. Even when I'm in VA, I'll be talking to you guys, and I'll be in touch with my pack constantly. So, and Mom is always right. Yes. So, meat is life. Have a fantastic day. Remember, everything is connected, and be excellent to each other. Bye.